Happy weekend, brunchers. It actually is the weekend this time, too. I'm Bailey Minogue, and this is Too Much for Brunch. I never thought the day would come where I would be doing a video defending Katy Perry. I was a little weary about telling people how much I really love Swish Swish because of all the drama. I don't think Katy Perry is a bad person, right? Let's start with the obvious. Katy Perry is a celebrity. Everything she does is under a microscope, and people really like to tear people down. That's a part of the American culture, right? One, I'm sure that if all of us had everything we did publicly blasted out on every screen across the world, we all wouldn't come out looking perfect, right? The second thing is every major artist has had a flop era, as the children are saying. Mariah Carey had Glitter, Janet had Janita Joe, Madonna had Hard Candy, even Michael Jackson had Invincible, which nobody really cared for. These were albums that people didn't really look for. Even Kylie, I'm so sorry Kylie, Lady Gaga had art pop. Americans, for whatever reason, enjoy tearing someone down just so they can be like, oh, look how much better she's gotten because of what we said, you know? Look what we did. We fixed Lady Gaga, and I think that's corny. Here's my big point. Whatever mistakes Katy Perry has made, as you get older, you start to realize celebrities are still human. Turning 30, I've seen so many of my favorites fall from grace, as it were. And some of them I think were more deserving. Miley Cyrus deserves everything she's getting right now. But I don't think Katy Perry does. A lot of people are like, she's using the gay community right now, but here's the thing. I personally think Swish Swish is the closest sister to Madonna's Vogue that has ever existed. If you take the attitude, the sound, and the feeling that Madonna was tapping into, it is so Vogue 2017, and I don't think any other song has done that so perfectly. So I'm gonna use the Vogue analogy here. People were mad at Madonna and are mad at Madonna for Vogue. So let's say Madonna went and made Vogue with no gay people, with no Voguers, instead of going into the community and seeing something she liked and saying, hey, I'm gonna give you guys part of my platform, come on tour with me, choreograph my videos. What if she didn't do that? What if she was just like, I'm gonna steal all this? Because that's where I think the line is drawn at appropriation. I have plenty of white friends who come around and listen to the music that I'm listening to and really get into it because they've never heard it before, and there's nothing wrong with that. I have tons of white friends who like house music. I personally love house music. So that is where Katy Perry is really winning me over right now, and even I think Bon Appetit has a really funky house groove underneath it. But that's another performance, right? She had great New York City legendary drag queens, very influential gay people from the club scene come out, right? It was an awkward performance, but she was just being herself and having fun. Like, I don't see a problem with people enjoying the culture. Voguing in the ballroom scene and the slang is everywhere nowadays. How did it get that way? Beyonce uses the Vogue scene, and she has gay people in her videos, and she uses that slang and that language, and people don't seem to give her the same hard time. When Madonna was coming up, she was able to be a geisha in one video, and then be a Brooklyn Italian in the next video, and then be a Spanish, then she had a Spanish bullfighter, you know? She borrowed from the clothes that she liked, and nobody really seemed to mind. And I think Katy Perry is really trying to do that, but still being diverse and including the people who are coming up with the ideas, which I think is the best thing. Because Katy Perry could have not included any gay people, but she didn't. She hired New York City people in the house scene, in the club scene, to do that performance with her. I don't know much about Migos, so I'm gonna end on this. I don't think it was Katy Perry's prerogative to cancel her performance if the Migos were uncomfortable. Branding is branding, and I know there's things that I wouldn't do on my show, and if a bunch of rappers don't want drag queens in their performance, I don't really think they can be faulted for that. That's not their brand. I'm not mad at that. You know, there are gay people who are uncomfortable around drag queens, and saying you don't like drag is not saying you don't like gay people. Drag queens don't bother me, but I was raised by drag queens. If you don't know any drag queens and you're a straight man in your mid-20s and someone's like, we're gonna have a drag queen right next to you, that's probably gonna be like a little weird. You're probably gonna be a little uncomfortable. Secondly, all the drag queens have come out and said that that never happened. All the drag queens have come out in support of Katy Perry. Even if Migos did or didn't, I wouldn't be mad at them for not wanting to be around drag queens, and that's just me. If you don't want to be around drag queens, you don't have to be. There's plenty of gay people who don't like being around drag queens. It's not a big deal. Drag queens are weird, okay? So we can't trick yourself into thinking that this shit's not weird. Drag queens are weird. People dressing up for any reason and going out is weird. It looks weird, it feels weird. Being around it, it's a weird energy. So if you've never been around it before, you probably don't know how to take it. So that's how I feel about that. I think we should all just leave Katy Perry alone. I'm not gonna cry and carry on. I really hope I didn't offend anyone with this, but on the same note, I'm trying to come from an honest place and a real place, and I really am just not mad at Katy Perry. Thank you for watching again. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll be back tomorrow with more brunch.